Before we start, I just gotta take a second and show you my cute earrings. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke, for those of you who are new here. Today's video is going to be about time management techniques and hacks that will help you be more efficient with your time. I feel like in this day and age, we all have a million things pulling us in a million different directions, and being able to be efficient with your time and knowing how to maximize every single second actually works really well. I am a highly efficient person. I come from a family of highly efficient people, and I think that that has been really beneficial for all of us throughout the years. Tip number one. My first and second tips kind of go hand in hand. One is figuring out your work style. Some people work better in chaos, other people work better when they're highly organized. And the second tip is organize. So even if you're someone who works really well in chaos, you're going to want to be able to find your items and have access to them. If you are the person who's constantly looking for a pen or paper, you're going to want to center everything and create at least a little pile of paper stacks and pencils that you can use. You can put them in a little jar, you can still have everything where you want it, but at least you're not spending time searching for items that you need to do the task at hand. Tip number three. Write things down. This has been proven by science to help your brain retain information. They actually suggest students use pen and paper to take notes rather than laptops because they retain more of the information. When you're creating lists, you have your to-do items, write them down. When I'm at work, I have Post-it notes every single day. After I've done everything on that Post-it note, I crumple it up and I throw it away. You can even stick them on your phone. That will help you because it will be an all-in-one place. Tip number four, don't multitask. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you walked in there? That is multitasking's fault. Science has found that human beings don't actually multitask very well. When you multitask, you're not actually as efficient and effective at what you're working on because your attention is spread out over so many things. Your brain is not very good at trying to keep straight a bunch of different things. If you're like me and you get bored really easily, have a ton of projects that you can work on. That doesn't mean work on them simultaneously. When you get bored with one project, put that down and move on to another one because that will allow your brain to switch, it'll be more engaged, and then when you go back to the other project, it will have a fresher look on the whole thing. Having multiple projects is also really good if you have a hurry up and wait situation. So my day job is a lot of hurry up and wait. So I get projects out and then I'm waiting on other people to do their end of the project. Having multiple projects to work on allows me to continue to be busy and use my time efficiently while I'm waiting for other people. Tip number five, plan in broad strokes. I am a planner by nature. I like planning things out. I actually have a travel planner binder. When you're planning, don't plan the minute details because plans will change, especially with long-term projects or projects that require you to rely on other people and their time frames. If you spend time planning these minute, small details, you're going to end up changing them eventually, and then you have wasted all of that time. Plan big strokes. Tip number six, pick the low-hanging fruit. Usually there are things you can do that take things off your to-do list or help your project progress a little bit. So just take that low-hanging fruit and it'll give you some motivation to keep going. Tip number seven, kind of in the same vein as tip number six, there is a saying that you eat an elephant one bite at a time. The basic idea behind it is saying that you take one step at a time. And that's kind of how you need to approach time management. If you think about the huge, vast list that you have going on or the giant end project that you need to get done, you're gonna feel demotivated, you're not gonna wanna start, and you're gonna have a hard time figuring out what you should do because you won't be narrowing your focus. You'll be thinking huge and it's really hard to do everything all at once. Sometimes I need to do meditation techniques in order to focus my mind because I will get really stressed if I have something coming up and I'm not feeling like I'm prepared or I have time to do it properly. And I will honestly just take a few moments and focus on my breathing or something like that just to draw your attention away from the stress and back to something that's very immediate and manageable. Tip number 8, take breaks when you start to drag. This happens to everybody, even the most productive people who have 500 projects going on and they get them all done and they're all stellar, they will hit a wall at some point. You have to know yourself. If you do that, 5 minutes in, you might push through and see if you can motivate yourself to make more progress. But if you have been working on this and all of a sudden you just notice that your productivity has tanked and you are ready to give up, take a break, take a stretch, eat something, cook a meal, go for a walk, do anything that gets your mind off of it, because you'll return to the chores or the project or the to-do list and it will be a fresh perspective, and that will help you keep your motivation. Tip number 9, learn to say no. I think that's really important for people, not just in a time management sense, but also in a personal health, mental health kind of way. I think we say yes way too much in our society. We say yes at work, we say yes to friends, we say yes to family, and it comes from a good place. It comes from the heart, and it comes from us wanting to be good people, supportive, a team player. But sometimes you need to just take that time and say, no, I can't, my plate is full. So this sounds kind of counterintuitive, but it's not. Learning to say no allows you to manage your time. When you have a full plate and you say yes to something new, this will just cause you to stress out, and all the things you already had on your plate are going to be sacrificed. The quality, the timeline, whatever it is, it will be sacrificed, because if you only have 24 hours in a day and you took on a project that will now make you need 26 hours in a day, it just doesn't work. When I'm at work and someone puts something on my desk and they say, oh, I need this done, can you do it? I won't say no directly because I don't think that's appropriate, it's my job. But at the same time, I let them know, hey, I have these things on my to-do list before your item, so it will probably take me this long to get to it. I just give them a heads up so that they aren't expecting a 24-hour turnaround time. They're aware of the roster that is before their project, and I think that just gives them more realistic expectations rather than saying yes, 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 yes. Tip number 10, my very last tip, my 10th tip, is to let it go. This is the hardest one for me to practice because you tend to hold on to things, or at least I tend to hold on to things, but you gotta let it go. Sometimes you cannot say no. My sister was in a position where she was caring for her ailing grandmother. She's a professor, so she had grading to do, she had research projects to submit, she had a book proposal to submit, and those are all things you can't say no to. You've already committed to them, and life just kept throwing things her way, and you cannot say no. She had to learn to just, if you're de-stressed and you're okay letting things go, it helps your productivity because you're not getting demoralized, you're not feeling like you're a failure or you aren't doing it right or you're not doing anything quick enough. Just let it go. Take a couple breaths, do some meditation, go have a drink with friends. You need to remember to have that balance, because if you just work and try and be a taskmaster to yourself, you are going to burn out really quick, and then your productivity will definitely tank. So those were my 10 tips for good time management. I hope they were helpful to you. I personally find them helpful in a lot of ways. I'm still working on some of them, kind of like saying no or letting things go. Those are things that I still have to work on every single day. Some days I'm better than others at it, but it still is a work in progress, and I am working towards progress, and that's what makes it all okay. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe down below if you'd like to see more like it. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.